The Young and the Restless spoilers next week, May 19th to 23rd, 2025. Under the low glow of society's sculptural wall sconces, a storm of tension was already brewing long before Sharon Newman crossed the threshold. Word had traveled swiftly through Genoa city's grapevine that an uneasy confrontation awaited her, a collision course with Nick Newman and Phyllis Summers, two forces whose fractured loyalties and simmering resentments promised fireworks. Sharon's pulse quickened as she scanned the sleek lounge, her eyes narrowing at the duo seated near the marble bar. Phyllis sat ramrod straight, crimson stilettos planted firmly on the floor, lips painted the same shade as the tempest she harbored within. Nick stood beside her, arms folded, jaw set hard, his usual veneer of calm replaced by taut anticipation. The tension between them wasn't born merely of past betrayals. It was a living, breathing acidity that crackled in the air like static before a thunderclap. Sharon inhaled deeply, steeling herself. She had endured her share of Newman's dismissals, but this time felt different. Phyllis's smirk when she caught sight of her, the cold tilt of Nick's gaze, it all told her she was walking into a trap of words sharpened into knives. Yet there she was, drawn by a mixture of defiance and necessity. Each confrontation in Genoa City seemed to be a prelude to a revelation that would reshape lives. She set her jaw and approached, heels clicking on the polished terrazzo. As she entered their view, Phyllis's lips curved into a predatory grin. "Well, look who decided to show up," she purred, voice laced with faux sweetness. Nick's eyes flicked from Phyllis to Sharon, unreadable but heavy with unsaid reproach. "We need to talk," he said evenly, each word deliberate. The invitation. Or was it a challenge, hung between them, charged with history and the promise of upheaval? But society was not merely the stage for old wounds. Elsewhere in the lounge, three figures huddled over a highboy table, Devin Winters, Lily Winters, and Nate Hastings. They exchanged restless glances, each nursing a cocktail that had long since gone untouched. Their recent days had been consumed by an enigma. Text messages from someone claiming to be Aristotle Dumas, instructing them to gather here for a meeting of grave importance. Devin flexed his fingers, betraying his impatience. "This is ridiculous," he muttered, eyes sweeping the room as if expecting Dumas himself to materialize through the mirrored walls. Lily's brows knitted in concern. "We don't even know if he's real," she reminded them. Nate, older and more cautious, took a tentative sip. "But why else would we all get the same message? It can't be a coincidence." Their speculation was cut short by the soft chime of the entrance. Heads turned as Amanda stepped through the doors, her composure immaculate in a tailored sheath dress that spoke of authority and purpose. Her heels clicked with measured confidence as she approached the trio. Lily stood, uncertainty and defiance warring in her gaze. "Amanda," she asked, voice tight. "What are you doing in town?" Nate's curiosity was edged with skepticism. "We thought Aristotle Dumas would meet us," he said. "But you, what is this?" Amanda paused just out of reach of their improvised circle, then raised a single, perfectly arched eyebrow. "Please, have a seat," she said, motioning toward the empty stools. "I represent Mr. Dumas. He asked me to answer any questions you might have." Devin's eyes narrowed. "You're not Aristotle Dumas," he stated flatly. "Are you?" Amanda's expression remained unruffled. "No," she admitted, "but I am his legal counsel and his emissary tonight. I've met him in person, and I'm authorized to speak on his behalf." Lily exchanged a glance with Nate, the same unspoken question shimmering between them, could they trust her? "So you've actually met him?" Lily pressed. "He's real?" Amanda inclined her head. "Yes, I've met him twice, once in New York, once in London. He's a private man, but he cares deeply about your company's future." Devin folded his arms. "Aristotle Dumas sounds like a false name," he said bluntly. "So tell us, who is he really, and what does he want with our company?" Amanda's lips curved into a slight, enigmatic smile. "He is a man of tremendous resources and vision," she began, voice calm yet resonant. He's followed your collective successes, Lily's philanthropic initiatives, Devon's strategic contributions, Nate's counsel, and he believes your firm could become a global powerhouse under his backing. He sought to convene you here to discuss a partnership opportunity that could redefine your market presence. Silence followed her declaration, punctuated only by the low hum of conversation drifting from other corners of society. Nate's skepticism pressed against Lily's cautious optimism. Devon scowled, weighing the risks of entangling with an unknown benefactor. Behind them, the confrontation between Sharon, Nick, and Phyllis reached a fever pitch, each trio unaware of the other's drama unfolding simultaneously in the same gilded room. Sharon's eyes glistened with indignation. Nick's frustration flared as Phyllis continued to needle her, painting Sharon as the perpetual interloper in their fractured family narrative. The clash of these parallel conflicts, one rooted in personal betrayal, the other in corporate intrigue, formed a symphony of tension that could only crescendo further. Amanda continued, her tone unwavering as she laid out the contours of Dumas's proposal, an infusion of capital, access to global distribution networks, and partnerships with prestigious cosmetic houses that could elevate their nascent line to international acclaim. In return, she said, he asks only for integrity and transparency, no backroom deals or ethical shortcuts. Her words struck an ironic chord, given the recent scandals circulating in Genoa City's boardrooms. Devon leaned forward, curiosity eclipsing his doubt. And what guarantee do we have that he will follow through, he asked. Amanda produced an envelope embossed with a discreet, stylized crest. These are preliminary term sheets, she offered, sliding it across the table. Review them at your leisure. Mr. Dumas understands the weight of first impressions. As Lily reached for the envelope, a sudden turmoil at the bar drew her gaze. Phyllis had stood and was pointing an accusing finger at Sharon, her voice harshly accusing her of scheming yet again to win Nick's sympathy. The room seemed to contract around Sharon, isolating her in a circle of hostility. Instinctively, Lily and Nate rose, moving toward the confrontation, while Devon tucked the envelope into his jacket pocket. He studied Amanda's composed profile, recognizing that whatever Dumas's true identity, his emissary possessed both the acumen and audacity to influence Genoa City's landscape. Within moments, the two storylines would collide. Sharon, backed into a corner by Phyllis's venom and Nick's cold reproach, would seize the courage to confront both of them with truths long buried, the pain of lies she'd endured, the scars history had etched upon their bond. Simultaneously, Lily, Devon, and Nate, flanked by Amanda's quiet authority, would navigate the treacherous waters of corporate alliance, balancing opportunity against the specter of manipulation. And amid it all, the question lingering in every mind would be the same: can trust be forged from shadows, or will every handshake hide a dagger? Tonight in Genoa City, at Society, alliances would shift, emotions would ignite, and the undercurrents of power and betrayal that defined every corner of this town would surge once more into the open. As the clock ticked toward midnight, each player, Sharon, Nick, Phyllis, Lily, Devon, Nate, and the enigmatic Amanda, stood at the threshold of decisions that would reverberate through both their personal lives and the boardroom for months to come. In this city where history repeats itself and every secret beckons reckoning, one truth remained immutable: in Genoa City, nothing stays buried forever. Amanda's calm demeanor never wavered as she met Devon's incredulous gaze. "My boss doesn't care about the Winters," she said, her tone neutral yet firm. "He admires Neil Winters tremendously, and he believes your business ethos aligns perfectly with Neil's legacy." Devon's brow furrowed. "So he knows Neil?" he pressed, searching her eyes for any flicker of deceit. Amanda nodded almost imperceptibly. "Mr. Dumas respects many visionaries across industries." Devon leaned forward, voice low. "Then tell me, who is Aristotle Dumas?" Amanda's lips quirked in a faint, cryptic smile. "He is who he claims to be, and that is all anyone needs to know." Nate's impatience snapped through the room like a live wire. "Why should we believe any of this? how can we trust that he isn't going to pursue the Winters after all? Amanda held his gaze steadily. Mr. Dumas has one clear focus in Genoa City, and I suspect you'll find it pleasing, especially you, Lily. He's interested solely in Chancellor Industries. Lily's eyes widened. Nate exchanged a quick glance with Devon. Amanda continued, he was offended by what Victor did to Lily, and as a result, he has no interest in the Winters at all. He respects each of you immensely. Devon folded his arms, a half-smile tugging at his lips. Please convey our thanks for his compliments, he said, voice measured. But we'll remain vigilant. Across society's sleek expanse, Nick's quiet encouragement to Phyllis created a stark counterpoint to the Winters' high-stakes negotiation. He reached out, brushing a stray lock of hair from her forehead. You'll get through this, he murmured, voice thick with tenderness. We can brainstorm your next project with Daniel, catch a film afterward, or if you'd rather, I'll give you all the space you need. Phyllis's lips curved upward in a soft, grateful smile as she rested her hand against his cheek. I don't want space, she confessed, her voice warm. I want you right here with me. Just then, Sharon glided into view, carrying a platter of steaming lasagna, the aroma of rich tomato and melted cheese weaving through the tension-laden air. You two seem a little tense, she observed, her eyes flicking between them with practiced nonchalance. Daniel's at rehearsal, so I'm making lasagna for dinner. Nick, you should come over. Phyllis's surprise softened into genuine gratitude as Nick offered Sharon a polite nod and Phyllis a relieved squeeze of the hand. The three of them, once rivals, now uneasy allies against the swirling drama of Genoa City, found themselves drawn into a fragile moment of domestic warmth. Behind them, the Winters and Amanda's conclave continued to hum with possibility and doubt, but in this quiet corner of society, the familiar rituals of lasagna and family reminded them all that, for better or worse, Genoa City's tangled loyalties were held together by moments of unexpected kinship. Nick's phone vibrated against the marble tabletop just as he leaned in to press a soft kiss to Phyllis's temple. He glanced down, read the terse message, and straightened. I'm sorry, Phyllis, but I have to go, he said, concern flickering in his eyes. She reached for his hand, offering him a reassuring squeeze. Thank you for today, and for everything, she murmured, voice warm with gratitude. He pressed his lips to her knuckles, nodded once, and was gone, leaving behind an echo of sandalwood and the faint click of the lounge door swinging shut. Sharon, who had lingered nearby with a tray of half-finished cocktails, stepped forward and regarded Phyllis with gentle curiosity. What did you thank him for? She asked, brow quirked in that familiar blend of curiosity and playfulness. Phyllis tilted her head, a soft smile playing on her lips. Isn't that a rather odd question, she replied, folding her arms as though to claim a small victory. Sharon's expression softened, and she placed a hand on Phyllis's shoulder. All right, she said quietly, but if you need anything at all, just let me know. Before Phyllis could respond, her phone chimed. Amanda's name flashed on the screen, a summons she could not ignore. I have to go, she whispered with reluctant resolve, slipping away into the night before Sharon could offer another word of comfort. Outside the sleek confines of society, in the patch of grass beside the park's wrought iron fence, Sally guided Billy through a peculiar form of solace. He paced, tension coiled in his shoulders as he recounted every slight delivered by Victor and Adam's latest corporate maneuver. We can't keep having this conversation, Sally said softly, echoing the concern that dozens of mutual friends had voiced in hushed tones. No more. It has to stop. Billy ran a hand through his hair, exasperation and helplessness etched on his face. Sally knelt and tugged at his laces. Take off your socks and shoes, she instructed gently. He obeyed, rolling down the soft cotton and placing his bare feet on the cool spring grass. She watched him close his eyes, inhale deeply, and then exhale, letting the damp blades rub against his skin. Gather all those racing thoughts, she murmured, bundle them up like leaves, and let the wind carry them away. For a fleeting moment, Billy felt the weight lift from his chest, replaced by the hum of crickets and rustling leaves. He allowed himself a small, grateful smile, but that fragile peace shattered when Nick emerged from the walkway, his presence sudden and commanding. Nick's gaze swept across the scene, Sally tending to Billy's upset, the glow of street lamps casting long shadows, and he strode forward with a quiet intensity. "Why did you fire Phyllis?" he demanded, voice low but edged with reproach. Billy's heart lurched, he blinked at Nick's clenched jaw. "I didn't have much choice," Billy stammered, tugging at his damp socks. "There simply wasn't a position for her at Abbott Communications, but I thought I was doing her a favor." Nick's stare was unyielding. "You put an opportunity in front of her and then ripped it away. That's no way to treat someone you call a friend." Billy's shoulders sagged under the weight of Nick's disappointment. He opened his mouth to protest, but the words caught in his throat as he recognized the truth of Nick's rebuke. "She's proven herself 100 million times over," Nick continued, softer now but still firm. "It's time you showed her the respect she deserves." In the hush that followed, Phyllis appeared at the edge of the lamplight, her silhouette graceful against the gentle sway of the breeze, her lips curving into a tender smile as she listened to Nick stand up for her honor. In that moment, the fractures between them began to heal, and in the gathering dusk, three souls found themselves linked by newfound understanding and the promise of redemption.